Hey guys, Shasta here. Welcome to Soundwaves TV. Well, you probably know we like to play videos and music from all different kinds of genres to really show the diversity of the Bay Area. What's special about this episode though, all of those genres are coming out of one dude. This week we spend the entire hour hanging with Bay Area music legend SHAUN Bivens and check out his many projects. Shawnee Be Fresh, The Court of Blood Technique, Tears for Grace, the Blackstone Funk Revival. It's rock, hip hop, funk, even jazz. Did I miss anything? I'm sure I did. We'll figure it out together. This is Soundwaves TV. Hey guys, Shasta and Dennis here. Soundwaves TV back at Green Room Music Center. So exciting. And we've got a really special, different kind of episode today.
Totally. Now, we had this gentleman on back in, I don't know, I think maybe April
It was
this
April,
year.
I'm pretty sure.
And it was a fascinating interview, and that was to pretty much just talk about his book.
Yeah.
Right? Sex Thugs.
Let me be the Vanna White.
Which is a really fascinating read about a guy who got into it with the hip hop and the rock and roll. There was drugs involved, and then basically, we'll let him tell the story, but he found his way back to a spiritual path. My experience with SHAUN Bivens was different. When I started playing music, I'm like, that's really good. Wait a minute, that's him?
Yeah.
That's a rock band. Okay, all right. Oh, wait, that's a funk. Okay, that's cool. Now this is with a guy from Prince's band, and I'm like, my God, this guy does everything musically.
It does it well.
Yeah.
He's all over the map.
I even bought his vinyl from him, and I have a little issue because look at that, it's beautiful.
I mean, isn't that
beautiful,
gorgeous?
right?
Yeah.
He didn't sign it for me, which is why I brought it to the set. I'm going to make him sign my album today.
I love it.
But, you know, when we talk about Bay Area music, we're always kind of looking for those really unique voices.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this guy is that, like, he plays different characters. You know, like his funk character is completely different than, like, some of the techno stuff he does.
Yeah. This is going to sound bad, but it's like, this is a compliment, I swear. It's like he vomits creativity. It's just,
every week it's something
right?
else. And you're just like, okay, what's it going to be this week?
Yeah, it really is incredible. And I'm so glad that we're doing this specific episode all about him, because when I was interviewing him the last time, I sort of felt cut off at the knees. I was like, but I want to ask more. There's just so much there, and it's so juicy and great, and he's so talented. It really did deserve a full episode. Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get started. We're going to kick things off with the song that I think introduced us to him. This is the Blackstone Funk Revival. Check it out.
Thanks for watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here with Shaun Bivens, and it's so nice to meet you in person.
I see you.
You're real.
I see you.
Last time we did this, of course.
I saw you, but now I see you.
Exactly. It was on Zoom. I think we had you on in April or something. And it was so funny because when I was talking to you at the time, Shaun, it was like, I felt like it was just this mini thing of what I wanted to talk to you about.
Right.
So we were like, no, you know what? He deserves an entire episode.
Word.
So it's all about you.
It's beautiful. For once in my life.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Someone cares.
So this is a big portion of what we talked about last time, your book.
Yeah.
Sex, Thugs, and Rock and Roll. We bonded over this. We've got all kinds of props. We got Shawnee Be Fresh.
Yes.
This is so awesome. I love it. But that is a perfect example of why we wanted to talk to you in a whole episode, because if you see here, this is Rock. This is his mohawk here. This is Rock Shaun. Shawnee Be Fresh. You know, you got your old school hip hop situation. But what's amazing about you, Shaun, is you have no boundaries.
Nah.
Whatsoever. Like, nobody keeps you in a box. You do rock, you do hip hop, you do throwback, you do jazz, you do covers like Taylor Swift. We'll talk about that in a minute. Like,
Tay Swizzle.
Tay Swizzle, yes.
That's her hood name.
I love that. She needs to own that and run with it. But it's so cool. Like, you're just all over the map in the best way. Is that always how you've been?
I grew up listening. It's my sister's fault. We talked about that last time. I'm listening to the Knack one minute, and then Zeppelin, and then Parliament Funkadelic, and then of course when the hip hop thing happened, so Run DMC and Tila Rock, and so I smoke it all.
Right.
It's like whatever's clever. If it's good music, I don't care what the genre is.
Yeah.
As long as it's quality, then I'm in there.
I say that a lot. Good is good, no matter what it is. And, it's funny when you do covers, if you do covers in a different way, like Voices Carry. That's one of my favorite things you've done. You've rockified it.
I love Amy Mann.
Yeah. Oh, the voice.
She's an amazing songwriter.
Yeah. But it shows the mark of a great song. And what I'm thinking of right now is, like, over the summer of this year, Metallica did their Blacklist, where all kinds of different artists in different genres did their songs.
That's dope.
And that shows the mark of a great song when you can do it in any genre. You can lay a genre over the same song and it still translates, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's you. Like, you can do anything in any genre.
If I put my mind to it.
Right? Yeah.
If I think about it long enough, I can get it done. And
that's what our goal of this episode is, to get in that head and understand.
You don't want to be in here. Scary in here.
Yeah, right? And understand kind of what happens and where all these characters come from and where all this inspiration comes from. But I do want to just start out with a shout out. You and I bonded last time. We talked over spirituality.
Yes.
Christianity, although I'm careful these days to even call it that specifically.
Right. Hey, he said you're going to get prosecuted for it one day. You know what I'm saying?
And here we are.
So,
not
close.
Not everyone who calls themselves a Christian, I would say, are kind of Christians.
There's a lot of fake ones out there.
Thank you. But, you writing that and owning it in the way that you do in the world that we live in, and I mean entertainment, it's not a super ready conversation. It's not a popular take, if you will.
Right.
So
it's almost taboo now, right?
It is almost taboo, which is super sad because there's so much beauty inside of it and a lot of muck as well, right?
Well, people take everything and mess it up.
Yeah, of course.
If you just stick to God, you'll be good.
That's exactly right.
Keep the humans out of it.
Yes. Amen to that. So we'll get into that a little bit more as well. But you've got a million projects we're going to talk about. Let's start with Tears for Grace.
All right.
Is that a good place to start?
Why not?
Love song?
The love song, yeah.
All right. We're going to start with that. That'll give you a little taste. We'll be right back. You're watching Soundwaves TV.
Nothing that can take your place, 'cause you're my nothing that can take your place, 'cause you're my greatest find. So this be love, my God, this be love. Tell me what I need to do. So this be love, my love, this be love, 'cause I'm so in love with you. So this be love, my God, this be love. Tell me what I need to do. So this be love, my love, this be love, 'cause I'm so in love with you. Tell me it's love. 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 Tell me it's love.
Coming up on Soundwaves TV, more with special guest SHAUN Bivens and his many, many musical projects. Don't go away.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Longboard, the coolest hidden gem on the coast. A world-class music venue with a neighborhood vibe. Stop by for a drink or check out an awesome show. For more information, go to longboardbar.com.
Welcome to the world of Planet B. Welcome to the world of Planet B.
I'm a gorilla and a killer, 'cause I murdered every track. Got some homies from Manila, but you might just think they black. But I'm straight out the jungle, West Coast Zulu Nation. Wanna see the motherland, but I'm still on probation. Don't care about your color, 'cause we don't believe in race. Just be on your best behavior when you step into the place. 'Cause it's black, white, Puerto Rican, everybody just a tweaking. Saw my ex, but we ain't speaking, and I don't care. Because
got the neon lights flashing, it's the city by the bay. As I'm rolling down the street with my homie Little Ray. No more 9 to 5 grind, 'cause I'm ready to unwind. Got that good vibe, visualizing, feeling on my mind. You know that Frisco's got the ladies and the parties go all night. If you really wanna live, then you got to cross the line. Let your mind just cruise as you're sipping on that goose. Everybody's breaking free, 'cause tonight we're on the loose. On the loose.
Welcome to the
That was Planet B here on Soundwaves TV. We are talking to Shaun Bivens, aka all the things, all the projects.
Right. I'm like the musical Sybil.
Well, earlier when I was saying we're going to get in your head, that's what I want to do now. So when you talk about these inspirations, you know, you obviously have a big background of different artists that you pull from.
Sure.
But how do you decide on, okay, this song is going to be Shawnee B. Fresh, or this song is going to be Planet B, or I'm going to save this riff for Quarter Blood Technique, or whatever.
Right.
How do you organize it up there?
I go into it, you know, I'll make up my mind that week to say, look, I'm gonna work on some Shawnee B. Fresh stuff.
Okay.
And then I'll just get into my whole B-boy mode, and I'll start remembering 1986 when I was a kid, and, you know, I'll start listening to the, you know, Mantronics and, you know, and Tila Rock and, you know, and Run DMC and just get in that mode, you know.
Okay.
You'll see
Almost
me.
put on the character.
I do. I'll walk around, get my Kango out and my big Dookie chain.
Yeah.
And I'll walk around like that for a few days. And
Wow.
it just gets my mindset. I was like, then I can get into that whole character.
That is so cool. And do you do that with each one of your projects?
Yeah.
It's almost like acting, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I think the rock stuff I do is kind of more natural because that was my first love is guitar and playing metal and playing punk and stuff like that. So that's in me all day, every day. You know what I mean? But the other stuff I got to kind of conjure up sometimes.
Exactly. I love that. And, you know, when we're talking about genres and stuff, like I got to know you through rock.
Right.
I think, was it a band called Pain First?
Yeah.
Trying to remember your timeline, which is incredibly hard to do.
Yeah. Well, it was some other bands before that. You
Right.
know? But a band called Pain First,
Yeah. So, and I loved you in your rock mode. I love Quarter Blood Technique. And I remember when you guys did Voices Carry, that cover, I was like, what? And when you hear that on paper, you're like, how does that work? But then you hear it in the way you rockified it.
How do you do that, right?
How do you do that? You do it so well.
Amy Mann is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, everything she does is really good.
Right.
But that is like, you know, I'm an 80s kid, so that whole thing, that whole era, you know, that band was just, you know, perfect. That whole new wave thing, this is perfect. They just hit it perfect. That song personified, you know, that whole new wave thing for me.
That's a very good choice. But then adding a different layer and tweaking it a little bit.
A little distortion.
Yeah, right, exactly. Distortion, you know, it brings out a different layer of that song, I guess, if you will. So we talked about Prince in your last interview here on Soundwaves. And you've worked with Dr. Fink.
Yeah.
So we got to hear this story. How did that come to be? What was that like?
Well, you know, we have the interweb is a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah, connections.
So my drummer, Tony, which is the same drummer from a band called Pain and Planet B, he had a relationship with him doing some stuff with his group. I think it's the Purple Ones, you know, it's like a pretty big Prince tribute band.
Sure.
And he was just passing it around, you know, and next thing you know, Apollonia is sharing it, you know, and then Dr. Fink, and then I think Eric Leeds from Prince's band. These guys were like, hey, when you guys come to town, you want to jam? We're like, heck yeah, you know, when things open up, we will. And then Dr. Fink heard it, and he was like, this is really, you know, close to the real thing. This is like really good. So we were just like cheering on that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was like, hey, ask the homie if he wants to get on there and shred a little bit. And literally within 2 days.
Within 2 days.
He sent us back like 3 or 4 pieces, and then we chopped them up in the studio and put them in the way we wanted to put them in.
Right.
But yeah, I think the last chorus out, he just Yngwie Malmsteen on the keyboard.
On the keys.
Just insane.
Oh my gosh. And what did that do for your spirit? Like,
I was just like, hey man, my 16-year-old self.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Going bonkers in the studio. I'm just like, I can't even believe, but you know, I'm just chopping it up in the studio. I got to be a professional, you know,
I know.
to a degree at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard in those moments. Did you have interaction with him like on the phone or
we just email. Tony talks to him from time to time, you know, but you know, with me, it was just email, and then he just sent it and sent back the wave. And I was like, this is exactly what we wanted. He already knew what we wanted. He heard the song.
Imagine if it wasn't what you wanted. Like, you wouldn't have said anything.
No, I just wouldn't have used it. I'd been like, my computer's broke.
Well, yeah, it was corrupted file. I don't know what to tell you, right? I mean, you definitely don't admit that.
That dude's a pro, man.
But I mean, I was going to say he can't do any wrong. So
when it comes out of Minneapolis stuff, he knows it inside and out.
Exactly.
He worked with the master, so.
Right. I mean, you know, we talked about Prince on the last interview and your love and respect. I mean, who doesn't love and respect Prince? I mean, the artist of all artists, right?
Yeah.
You want any genre, very similar to what you do.
Absolutely.
He could do it and do it incredibly well.
Right. He threw it in a big pot of gumbo and just
Right.
He didn't break it up into sections like me. He just threw it all in there in one song.
Do you want to do that?
No, it's for me.
You're like, I'll leave that to Prince.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. You know, you can hear different influences a little bit. You know, but I like when I'm doing some metal, man. I want to keep it I want to keep it metal.
Right,
You
right.
know, I could just go put on another hat and do something else if I want to.
You can, but not everyone can.
Right,
I
right,
mean, truly, like that's what, I've said that to several people, like you are the most prolific person when I see like every genre
Thank you.
all
Thank
the
you.
time.
Thank
You
you.
just never stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Just
Right?
keep writing.
Yeah. You just get in your mad studio and you just go to town.
Because you never know when you're going to have a block.
Right. Oh,
So,
good point.
so when you're feeling it, just keep going. Just record as much as you can because blocks do come.
Oh gosh, that's fascinating.
They happen, and then you're just like you hit a wall, and you're like, I can't think of nothing.
Right.
But then you got all the stuff that you recorded. You need to work on mixing it, and and mastering it, and editing it.
Yeah.
And then something else pops in your head, and get back to work.
Oh, that's so good. Actually, I want to take a break. We're going to watch your song with Dr. Fink,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Blackstone Funk Revival. And we're going to come back and we're going to touch on that a little bit because I think that's fascinating. All right, you're watching Soundwaves TV with Shaun Bivens. We'll be right back.
We got that life and the pursuit of the funkiness and God above. Don't make it so we never miss. I can never live without it. And who gives you the right to doubt it? 'Cause you can never hope to be them. 'Cause living on the one is freedom. So take it from a man who knows it. Before became the plan, I chose it. 'Cause standing on the verge is easy, but you can't get your bump this breezy. Life and love, pursuit of the funkiness, and God above. Don't make it so we never miss. Funkin' is the one desire, only meant to take you higher. See, you can fake the funk and make it. You can't fake it. 'Cause you can't bend the funk or break it. Let us be one together. Funkin' through any weather. So let us be one together. Just funkin' through any weather. We got that life and love, pursuit of the funkiness, and God above. Don't make it so we never miss. We got that life and love, pursuit of the funkiness, and God above. Don't make it so we never miss.
I think people are
Over funking.
and passing out from the funk.
Somebody please call a doctor.
Dr. Fink, would you please report the surgery? People are over funking here. Gonna need to operate.
Let us be one together. Funkin' through any weather. So let us be one together. Just funkin' through any weather. That life and love, pursuit of the funkiness, and God above. Don't make it so we never miss. We got that life and love, pursuit of the funkiness, and God above. Don't make it so we never miss. We got that.
Check out Soundwaves TV on all our social media accounts. Deleted scenes, extended interviews, and the latest announcements and official playlists. The Bay Area plays here. Hit us up everywhere at Soundwaves TV.
What's your favorite song they did?
You know, I gotta tell you, Voices Carry. Right here.
That was Voices Carry from Court of Blood Technique, and we have Shaun Bivens here. And this has been so fun so far. We've got so much more to do. So we stopped our conversation a couple minutes ago because I wanted to really dive into this idea of creativity. And you mentioned, like, you got to write and really go while you have it coming to you, because what if you hit a block?
Exactly.
I look at creativity, and I'm not an artist, so it's different in my world. I'm a storyteller. That's my job on TV and radio. But it's a different kind of art.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of creativity almost almost being an entity. Would you say that? Like it's a thing that sort of floats around and you grab it.
Absolutely, it's a spirit,
It's a spirit. That's the way I think
it's a
of it.
gift, You get it. Some people can develop it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it's a gift from God. God gives you a talent or a skill of some sort, and you can hone it. You can work on it and make it better. Or some people just wake up and can play the piano. I don't get it. But, me, I had to work.
Yeah.
I had to just practice everything.
Work at learning each instrument or work at writing
learning,
or
all of it. All of it. I mean, because I sucked so bad when I started.
I
it was horrible when I started. So this is like, 40 years of work.
But what inspiration that, you put enough passion into something and enough time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears, right?
Yeah.
And eventually you get somewhere with it.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, anything you like, you're gonna work at it to get better. Anything you want in life, you're gonna hustle to get it. If you're really passionate about it.
Yeah.
If you're not, it'll just be a hobby that kind of just, poof, it's gone. You know. I'm playing tennis this week, and no, I'm not playing tennis anymore.
Yeah.
Which I love tennis.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I played for Kenyatta College.
Snap.
I coached
God,
at
you really
Crystal
did it.
Springs.
You do it all. It's
That's why my
getting
knees are
absurd.
bad right now, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, 25 years of hardcore tennis will do that to you.
Wow.
Tournaments,
Okay.
USTA, all of that.
Wow, I'm very competitive. I used to play tennis, and then I took like a 20-year break. And then I tried to play with my husband, and I ended up breaking a racket in front of him because I got so angry.
You went McEnroe on him.
Totally. That's exactly what he said. He was like, did John McEnroe just take over your body? Like, what just happened? I was like, rah! Yeah, I'm very competitive. Anyway, that's a whole nother Oprah. So going back to, so creativity in these characters. So like Shawnee B. Fresh, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Who is he? Where does he live up here?
He's my. I think first time I heard Planet Rock was in like 82. I mean, I think it came out 81, 82 or 83. But that whole B-boy movement, we all started getting into breakdancing and, getting the Pumas and the Fat Laces and the whole culture, the graffiti culture, all of it, the rapping, the DJ culture. We got into that super, super heavy. We were into the metal first.
Right.
But when that happened, it was so much fun, going to breakdance competitions and everything. And then we started rapping ourselves. I got my first little drum machine and then started making beats. We were the only rap group that had our own theme music. We were called the Rockin' Renegades out of Tracy, California. We made our own beat, and we were rapping about ourselves and the members of the group in the song. So we won a lot of battles because we had our own music.
I mean, right, who could compete with that? Come on.
Who got their own track to break to.
Right, exactly. Dude, that's so sick.
So that's where Shawnee B. Fresh came from, and I miss that era of hip hop. It was my favorite. I've done, I did records in the 90s, hip hop, and, the Wild Boys were signed to Fantasy Records in 89. And that was a different style of hip hop, but my favorite style of hip hop is that B-boy style of hip hop.
Yeah.
The Kangos and the whole shebangy bang. So I wanted to make a record like that, and I just started one song, led to another, and then I hooked up with these guys, City Beat Records out of Germany, out of Frankfurt, and that's all they do is electro funk hip hop.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Let's do a record." I'm like, "Bruh, I got 12 tracks already."
You're just like, here they go, here they
go.
are, bam,
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. In talking about covers, so you covered Taylor Swift, and this just makes me laugh because what did you call her earlier?
Tay Tay Swizzle.
Tay Tay Swizzle. That's what we're going with.
Tay Tay Sweezy.
I love it. But what a fun, I love the video to that one too. It just makes me laugh. But we're never, ever getting back together. Ever getting back together. But a great song. I mean, I actually respect Taylor Swift as a songwriter massively, right?
It's my guilty pleasure.
Right.
Yeah.
And
or especially her earlier stuff. This is like, great. It's just, She's a little girl in her room writing these songs, and she does what she does very, very well. Can't take nothing from her.
I remember her very first song I ever heard was Tim McGraw, and I came home and I played it for my now husband, and I was like, this girl is going to be a superstar. I'm just going to say, I called the shot on this one. I had met her. Nobody knew who she was. She was doing the radio tour, right? And so I'd met her briefly with her parents, and she sang that song on her little guitar in the radio station. Everybody's like, oh, she's so cute. And I was like, no, this bitch is going places.
Right.
Like,
she's about to blow up.
And she did, obviously. So, you don't have to like her, but if you just, it's like Miley Cyrus. I love Miley Cyrus's voice. I think she's a hell of a talent.
She can sing.
She could sing. I was going to say, you don't necessarily have to like these artists, but when you break it down to songwriting, Taylor Swift knows what the hell she's doing. You talk about vocals, Miley Cyrus can sing her butt off.
Talent is talent. Whether that's something you rock with on a regular or not, skills are skills.
Exactly.
They got them.
And I love that you're not afraid to be like, yeah, Taylor Swift Say it one more time.
Tay Swizzle.
Tay Swizzle. I'm going to get it before this is all said and done. I love that you'll just own that and go, okay, well, talk about genre bending, right?
Yeah,
we're just going to take that and put my spin on it. I mean, why that song in particular?
Because it was just like her. I thought for me that was her best song for me. I've heard a lot of the songs over the years, and on the award shows or whatever. But that one, just the first opening guitar riff, I was like, man, if that had some metal behind it,
right.
And then we shot it at my friend's house, not too far from here, and it was like the party house. It was like Shameless, at that house.
Totally.
That was real. That was a real party.
It looked real.
That was like that every single night at that house.
Oh my God.
So it was like, people puking in the bathroom. You open the door and you're like, oh, close the door. Like, it was like that all the time.
It reminded me of, a lot of 80s movies where, the party's going on, Animal House, whatever, where you open the door and you're like, oh boy, and you shut it.
Absolutely. Shout out to my homie, Chrissy. I don't know where you're at these days, but I hope you're doing well.
All right.
Hope you're all right, Chrissy.
I love it. All right, so let's get into a bit of Shawnee B. Fresh. We're going to play Funk Mechanic here.
Funk Mechanic.
So when you talk about videos, you said that this was a video you had exactly in your head and it turned out exactly like you wanted it?
Exactly. And I got my boys, Media Circus, on there. They used to be called Demons of the Mind back in the day. During the whole breaking and popping, they would be out in Berkeley and San Francisco and Oakland. They come from that old school boogaloo strutting popping era. They started in the 70s.
Yeah.
And those dudes still get down today. So I was a popper and a strutter and a breaker too. Yeah. So I was like, let me get these guys. So I called my boy Fazo and he was like, let's shoot the video. And we did it.
Dude, you just make everything happen. Mad respect. It's so cool. All right. Shawnee B. Fresh, also known as Shaun Bivens. Funk Mechanic, you're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.
You got a broken beat, no need to panic. Call Shawnee B. Fresh, I'm your funk mechanic. I'm so fresh, I'm never stale. I fix any party, I never fail. I'm dope, I can't be the whack. Got your old grandma spinning on her back. I'm living proof, I'm living the dream. I'm Shawnee B. Fresh, B-boy supreme. I'm a weirdo, I am not the norm. Electro funk, stay true to form. I'm a purist, without no cut. You wonder how I do it, say what? I put fat laces in places with different races and faces. I put shell toes on your sneakers. I put the bass in your speakers, yeah. And if your party is dead, no need to panic. Call Shawnee B. Fresh, I'm your funk mechanic.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Longboard, the coolest hidden gem on the coast. A world-class music venue with a neighborhood vibe. Stop by for a drink or check out an awesome show. For more information, go to longboardbar.com.
Soundwaves TV, Chasta here, and wow, this has been such a fun show, all devoted to this brilliant, creative genius of a man. Should I keep going?
Stop it.
SHAUN Bivens, we've seen a lot of what you've done, not all of it, not anywhere near all of it.
Yeah.
But I do want to give a shout out real quick to a jazz single you put out a while back.
Yeah.
I'm a lover of jazz.
Okay.
And so
okay.
when I saw you did jazz, which was no surprise, you've done everything else, why not?
Right.
I was like, oh, dude, and it's beautiful. Where did the jazz influence
Pops,
come from?
my father was a jazz shredder.
Okay.
I mean, he played a Gibson Towel Farlow. He was that guy. Like, other music is nothing. They can't play. Everything was like, these dudes suck. And he was right, in a lot of ways, because
I love it.
he knew a billion chords, and so he passed away. So I wanted to, give
it's your nod to
props
him.
to Pops, you know what I mean? And do a jazz single,
Can I put in a special request?
Sure.
I'm a big fan of blues, New Orleans style blues specifically.
Okay.
You think you could do a blues track for me sometime?
I have to eat some gumbo first,
Yes.
I got to get some crawfish.
We can make that happen.
Get in the mode, man.
Right.
Who knows what comes out?
Yeah, whatever we got to do to get you there. But I just think you would do. When I heard, I have always really dug your rock because I work at a rock radio station.
Yeah.
I've seen you play rock several times over a decade. But man, the jazz was just so different and so unexpected. And I thought, wow, that really shows your chops. So blues is next. Is that the only genre you haven't covered? I'm pretty sure it is.
Pretty much,
point.
but
I mean, if you want to get into opera, by all means.
Why not? But you know what though? Metal, and hard rock in general, comes from the blues anyway. So
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
scales we're playing are blues scales,
Yeah.
just on steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
Well, I'm just giving you a little inspiration if you want to do that, by all
Right,
means.
right.
I did want to cover, we didn't touch a big portion on Tears for Grace, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that.
Yeah,
a bit.
Tears for Grace is that, I was a kid who was watching MTV the first day it came on, Buggles and, and The Fix
Yeah.
and The Cure. I was watching those videos. I was watching Gary Newman. And
Yeah.
I was really into all that new romantic stuff. And I was like, I could do that. I love that style. I love that kind of, that 80s Bowie era
Sure.
too. So I decided to just do a whole record just devoted to that whole thing,
That part of your
Yeah.
upbringing.
Yeah,
and
and I got all these
inspiration.
old synthesizers and stuff, so
Yeah.
I was able to, capture. I got old drum machines and old drum machine samples, so I'm going to make a new wave record.
So you have a musical bunker where you go in and you just do that. Do you
Yep.
live in that space? Like how often
Yep.
do you come out of that space?
I'm there at least 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm in there, and I got a little spot in the house too, in my apartment. Me and
I
the
would
wifey.
assume, yeah.
I just get in there and I get the clicky clacking and.
Is your wife a musician?
Absolutely not. She is on one of these songs on the Shawnee B. Fresh record. Though.
Oh, great.
I made her sing backgrounds on the song.
Good.
Like, you want to come to the studio and hang out and put you to work.
Oh, how cute is that?
Yeah, so the
Does
song's
she
called
like it?
Let's Dance. Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Let's Dance.
Let's
That's
dance.
great.
I know you got the fever. Let's dance. Oh, come on and get down. That sample from the old disco song.
Yes.
So I made her do that on the hook.
Did she like it?
She liked it.
Yeah, did she feel like she rocked it?
Yeah, I gave her a B girl. She's Honey Bee.
Honey Bee.
She's actually on the insert a picture of her with the Kango on and everything.
Oh my God, that is precious. I love it.
Got to put them to work, man.
Absolutely. What a joy this has been. Seriously.
Awesome.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
being
having me,
here
man. This
and
is
doing
a huge honor, man, to come sit down and talk with you guys.
I'm so glad we were able to devote enough time, well, not enough time to all of his projects, but as much time as we've got here on Soundwaves TV. So tell everybody where they can find you on social.
SHAUN, Shaun, BIVENS, Bivens. You can YouTube.
Yep.
Or Facebook.
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
Hit me up. You want a book, or just watch a bunch of videos.
I was going to say, yeah, you can go down the vortex of videos. There's so much to chew on. It's great. But I just want to give a shout out to this. Yes, there you go. Buy vinyl.
And the Funk Mechanic.
And not exactly. And not everybody has books, and this is such a great book with such a great message. It's really an important read. And I love, supporting local musicians however we can. And this is a different kind of way. Yeah. So if they hit you up, they can order through you, I assume. And
absolutely.
Get it shipped right to their house. This has been lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Seriously.
God bless you.
One of the most talented humans I have ever sat and chatted with. So it's true. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. We're Soundwaves TV. We'll see you next time.
Some indie record that's much cooler than mine. You call me up against the night, but
say never. She called me and she was like, I love you. And I was like, this is exhausting, cause we are never getting back together. I mean, ever. I'll never